Okay, well, let's just get into it then.
Okay.
So, winter in the veggie patch, and I listened to your episode on muddy boots last night that covered a lot of that with veggies as well. But you also talk about your plants and everything else in the garden. But so I highly recommend everyone go listen to that as well, because today we'll just focus on like the veggie
Mhm.
component. Um, so we'll just get into it. So I've got some questions from the gardening community, and then I've got some things that I wanted to ask as well.
Yep.
So maybe I'll just start with my ones. I've got a bit of a show and tell.
Okay, go on. Let's do that.
Okay, I'm going to just talk through some issues that I'm facing and maybe some things that you would recommend, and then hopefully this will help others out there as well. Okay. Well, we'll talk later more about your birthday. Okay, show and tell. Okay. So this is my radish.
Yep.
Firstly, you can see the aphids.
Yep.
I'm assuming they're aphids.
Yep.
Can you
Yep.
see that? And
Okay.
then I've got a little friend that's been eating the radish as well. So there's two issues going on with here. I've
Yep.
got radish, and I believe that's snails because I just threw some out the other day.
Yep.
So how would you approach aphids? Because they're on my radish and they're also on my swede, on the swede.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the swede. So
Yep.
they're the two that they're targeting, like the veggies they're targeting at the moment. I don't have brassicas in the garden. Besides, I just learnt that radish is a brassica. So then, I don't have broccoli and things that they're attacking. And I heard on Muddy Boots, you talking last night, they will suck the leaf, it will start to curl like
Yep.
this one's doing, and then it will collapse.
Yeah. Yeah. They tend to sit on just under the margin of the leaves, and they suck out the goodness out of the leaves, and the leaves roll over and collapse, and you can't really see them. So I
Mm.
always recommend that you just have a container mixed up with eco oil and eco neem, and go around on a basis and continually spray. They're,
Right.
they're a beautiful, safe product.
I'm running late because I was running around getting props for our chat. So there's a 5 litre,
Yep.
a 5 litre container.
So that has 25 mil of eco oil put into it. So 25 mil of that, and then 12 mil of eco neem mixed into the water, and just have it ready all the time, because that aphids are really prevalent this time of the year because of that this is their season. So
Mm-hmm.
that stuff will knock them on the head. Um, if you're fortunate enough to have some pyrethrum around, that is an instant kill. Yep, that's an instant kill. But make sure you shake the bottle. That,
Okay.
that's
Yes.
an OCP product. Yeah, that's great.
Because this builds up like the resistance against them, and this is for
Yep.
when you got a real infestation to give them a
That's
real fast knock.
bang.
And
Yep.
that's the same with the caterpillar as well. It's the same
Yep.
approach.
Or
Uh,
anything that chews and sucks.
yep. So and the eco oil is safe to use now because we're in winter, but just still like it's a sunny day today. Not to use in the sun of the
No.
day.
Best to do it either in the evening. Go and spray it in the evening if you're worried about any heat or anything else.
Yep. So
But,
both
but
because we're in winter, not in
yep.
summer though.
No.
Okay, so I got to get onto that. So would you go around cutting, like, for me, like there's all the little leaves like that just to cut them? Like there's no point spraying that to save it.
No, cut that off. But and then the aphids actually have wings, so they fly. And then
Yeah.
once they actually land, they drop their wings, and then they can't move from there. That they actually are moved. Ants will actually come along sometimes if you've got ants in the garden, and they can actually move them around like sheep, because they get the
Like they herd them.
so forth. Yeah, they herd them, move
There's
them
a
around.
power pole there, and I'm just going to move when the sun moves. I'm just going to move with that a little bit.
All right.
I'll be moving around the patch. So in the kids bug collecting things so they don't get herded somewhere else.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the aphids. And then, so the snails, I'm pretty sure it's a snail. So snails and slugs, do you approach them the same?
The snails, I would use a bait with snails. Uh,
Right.
and 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 if you actually have a good look online, there are actually some very, very good quality snail baits that are made from medicinal grade iron. So they're not cheap,
Okay.
rubbishy stuff that most of the big warehouses sell. There is a real good product, and I just can't protect this. I think it's called. But get online and have a look for it. It is a really good quality one that there's only adding goodness to your actual soil as it breaks down. But yeah, it'll kill the snails really, really effectively. You don't have to buy multi-crop crap. You can use a really good quality one that's not animals won't eat it or anything else, and if they do, well, it's not going to kill them.
Yeah, and I went onto that Protect Us site last night. I couldn't see it, but I need to go for a bit of a deeper dive, and I'll share that in the
Yeah,
comments if I find it. So
yeah.
then slugs
So
is
the other thing that you might need to watch out for, in actual fact, is earwigs.
yes, and you've done lots of things with the plastic container with the soy sauce. Is
Yeah,
that them?
yep, that's great. But if you want to see if you've got an infestation of earwigs in the garden, then what you do is you get a little bit of newspaper or paper, wet it thoroughly, and then roll it up. Not a tight roll, but just a light roll, and then stick it in your garden bed. And what will happen is that the earwigs are nocturnal mongrels, so they'll be out in the dark. They'll attack your plants, and then they're looking for a nice little place to go and live. And that is, it's wet and it's enclosed and it's dark, and that's where they'll be. So in the morning when you go out there, you just pick up that roll and open it up slightly, and just see if it's got earwigs in it, and then you know that's another problem you're going to have.
Right, and will they do something like that, like
They
gnaw
will.
at your
Yeah,
veggies? Yeah.
they just go backwards and forwards. The little tiny mouths go backwards and forwards.
Mm,
Spot. We had a bad infestation with apples this year. Now I've had to put a net all the way around my apple tree, and then around the trunk of the tree, I've put that band of tape with Vaseline on it to stop the codling moth coming up.
mm.
But having the net all the way around touching the ground gives it a great climbing surface for the earwigs to go all the way up to the top, and then they get down on just where the actual stalk attaches to the apple, and they just chew away in there. They are little monkeys,
Mm.
and there's nothing much you can do about that except if you had chooks.
Yeah,
But
I
if you had
don't. I
chooks,
can't like hard work looking after my kids, let alone having chooks. Okay, so with the earwigs, because you get the plastic container, you put soy sauce and you mix it with
oil,
vegetable oil.
yep,
Yeah, so that's the other
drill,
ones.
drill little
Yeah,
holes inside,
yeah.
and maybe cover it with a bit of mulch of some sort, and they'll come in through the sides and go into the soy sauce, and they drown in the oil.
Okay, right. And so slugs, they're a little bit different. What are you doing with slugs?
Slugs, same thing with slugs.
Okay, same thing with
Slugs
slugs.
and snails are exactly the same treatment.
Okay, because I do have where is it gone? The copper tape.
Yeah,
And I think I had it onto my beds too late because last year in my Asian greens they were riddled with slugs, and I tried the beer trick, but I used low carb beer, and apparently
no,
you
gotta
meant to
be
use full strength beer,
gotta be full
so,
drink.
so I wasted a beer, and then the tape I think they were already in the bed, and
Yeah,
yeah, so look, it probably helped a little bit, but it didn't completely stop them.
no. So do you know why the copper tape is effective?
Because it's yeah, no, I don't.
Okay, people think that it might carry some sort of electrical charge, but no, it doesn't.
Right.
The copper tape, in actual fact, is resembles the blood component of snails and slugs,
Oh,
which is
what?
not iron based like our blood. It is copper based.
Right.
So they don't like crossing the copper component because it mimics the blood that is in their bodies. So they won't go across it.
Do they think they're like crawling over their friends or
No, that's
something?
right.
I'm just gonna move. I'm following this. I'm following the arms. I can't even see you. Okay, so right, very good. Um, because yeah, the slugs obviously and the snails come out at night time, so you need to go and investigate.
Yep.
Okay, next thing. Oh, my little show and tell's back here. I've got a whole stack. Okay, so next thing, this is on my snow peas. This is the leaf,
Yep.
and this is some of the snow peas close to the leaf.
Yep. That looks like a fungal attack to me.
And we've had a lot of rain, so it's
Yeah.
around the more towards the. I'm not overwatering because I haven't even watered because we've just had so much rain.
That's
So,
that's a fungal attack. So I would be suggesting you try a copper or a lime sulfur.
mhm.
So a copper fungicide or a lime sulfur, and just give it a spray, and that should knock that on the head. Um, if you had access to a little bit of a liquid feed, that would serve.
I've lost you. Oh,
Yeah,
there
no,
we go.
no, it was
Back.
my phone ringing. Sorry.
To say happy birthday.
Yeah, so that might happen a little bit. Sorry.
And so you should. They should be in. They should be pouring in. Perfect. So, would you remove these leaves where possible?
Yeah, pull them off. They're no good, and they've got the fungal spores on them that could spread if the
Yes.
abusive.
Okay. And that, like, I still eat them. I just clean that off. Is that bad
Yeah,
to eat them if you just
it's
clean it off and?
not going to hurt you. You'd
Okay.
be
Very
surprised
good.
if you put that
Okay.
under a microscope. You might be surprised what might be on there, and none of it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. Very good. Best not to know. There's no chemicals though. I know that.
That's good.
Okay. Next one. Ready?
Yep.
Ta-da! This is an eggplant leaf, and I know it's the end of the season, so it's going to happen anyway, and it's a
Yep.
summer crop. So, but in other veggies also that will have, like, I guess, is that frost?
No,
Or is,
yeah. It's weather affected. So the temperature drops down below say 20 degrees. Then that's when the plant sort of says, well, this is not my conducive growing environment. I like it up around the 30-degree mark, so I'm going
I'm
to
out of
shut
here.
down. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that's
Very good.
what that is.
And if you were to try and prolong the life of your frost-sensitive plants,
Yep.
frost guard, a bit of
Yeah.
frost guard.
Yeah. You can put frost guard, or you could put a little glass house over the top. You can buy these little
Yeah.
glass houses from Bunnings that you can set up over the top of your plants.
There's the eggplants there.
Yep.
There's so I don't know if something would fit over the top of
Yeah.
those.
You'll be
But
surprised. You can
but
you can
because
put
they're
something
sorry.
over it. Yep.
But they're a perennial anyway, so you can cut them right back. And when I spoke
And,
to Holly last week, she said like she even removes hers and put hers in pots and out of the frost
yep.
areas.
Yep.
Okay, because is there other veggies that this will happen to in winter if you're trying to grow them?
Yeah, that's going to happen. It's going to happen to capsicums and these sorts of things as well,
And potatoes.
and potatoes. Potatoes, you've got to worry about frost.
And this is it.
Yep, frost guard. Yep, that's great.
Yeah. So, but
Um,
yeah, move your
but,
potatoes out of the frost
yeah,
risk areas anyway.
but also understand that if you use a seaweed solution, that's
Yeah.
also very good for frost as well. It's
There's some great ones out there
yep,
as well. These guys I use theirs. It's such a thick, beautiful like you can just tell it's full of goodness. So that's what I use. Perfect. So then you're gonna have some like veggies that are just finishing off their seasons. There's something like that's probably another one. That's a sweet
that's
potato. It's just
yep.
finishing off.
So, same thing. Same thing. It's done its job.
Yeah.
The,
Like
the leaves don't last forever. They've done their job. They're going to sort of revert back and become compost.
yeah. Okay. Very good. So overwatering during winter it can cause rotting, especially if you've got vegetables.
Yep.
My issue is that we've had like so much rain and there's more coming next week. Like you can't really do much about the natural rain. You
No.
just got to watch your overwatering.
No, that's all. That's all you can do is just make sure that you're not watering and adding to that. That's all. So
Yeah.
I've turned my irrigation system off, so I know that it's getting enough. It's getting enough moisture from the rain, and I don't want to go compounding it by adding more water. Even though all my raised beds are very very well draining. I mean,
Mm.
you can dig right down to the very bottom of my beds, and you won't find any wet, soggy mess down there. So it's a beautiful free draining mix that I've got set up in my bed, and that's with the right materials that have been put in. That's all.
And I haven't had any rotting vegetables because I had too much compost ratio in
Yep.
mine for summer, and we
You're killing
spoke,
with
and I
kindness.
yes, too much love. I'm like more, more, more,
Yep.
but yes. So we spoke about it was just too heavy with that, and the drainage wasn't there. So you told me to go and get wash sand to
Yep.
give it more structure. So I'm hoping like everything's more free flowing and
Yep.
yeah, got consistency.
Yep. That'll work. And
Okay, so powdery mildew, you get that at this time of year? I haven't got any, or is
no,
that a summer thing?
no, that's more a humid summer sort of thing. So if you
Yeah.
and it mainly attacks the curcurbit family. So things like your cucumbers and your zucchinis and these sorts of things. And one of the best things, if you have any problem with powdery mildew, full cream milk,
Yeah.
dilute it down and just spray. But it's got to be applied on a sunny day.
Yeah.
You can't go and put it out, during an overcast day because the actual milk reacts with the sunlight and creates a mild antibiotic,
Okay.
which will kill
Right.
the fungus.
Well, we'll park that in our brains for summer then. Okay, perfect. So that's like basically winter will bring in the pests and
Yep.
diseases. So yeah, so the main ones are the eco neem, eco oil, and then the pyrethrum if you need a quick knockdown.
Yes.
And because the white butterfly pretty much is gone, although I did have one last week,
So,
basically all the nets are off now. Basically,
yep.
should be, but yeah, there might be the odd butterfly. So, but they could have the eggs could be there and the caterpillars could be there. So even though the white butterflies still check under the leaves for eggs and
Yep.
caterpillars.
Yep. And also, if you notice any of your leaves being eaten, then
Something.
that's a dead set, you know, point to have a look for caterpillars. And the thing about the caterpillars is they actually eat at night, and
Yeah.
then during the day when they get to a decent sort of a size, they actually lie down the vein of the plant. So they're
Oh yes,
they're
yes,
very
yes,
hard
yes.
to see.
Yep. Right. Is that what they're doing? Having a
Yep.
rest because they're full.
Yep. They're,
Perfect. Okay, that's pests and disease. So, some people are just receiving garden beds now. So, what can they be planting for winter, and like what is just way too late? Because I know Brussels sprouts like is way too late. So, I
yep.
on Muddy Boots, you rattled off heaps of great ideas that you can still be doing now.
Yeah, look, there's lots of things. I mean, lettuce is one that we use all the time. You
Yeah.
know, so we always have lettuce, and you can put lots of different types of lettuce in. Yeah, that looks like a beautiful little patch over there.
Yeah.
But we 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 have still got in our garden beds successional planting.
Yes.
So,
Next.
so,
Yeah.
so what we have there is we have things like wombox and pak choys, which are basically a single harvest plant,
Mhm.
uh, along with cabbages and cauliflowers, which are even more a harvest. So you can always have a succession of those sorts of things coming through. People don't realise. People plant brassicas in the middle of summer, and that's when you get the white butterfly around. Well, this is
Yeah.
the
So
best
this
time.
is the ideal time because you don't need a net.
Yeah. So this is the best time to have brassicas in your garden, because there isn't that the trouble with the white butterfly. Although aphids are going to become a problem, me. Um, so all the brassicas can still be going in the garden. You've got spinach, you've got silver beet, and then you can put celery in, all these sorts of things. Peas are also great to be going in at this time. These snow peas and sugar snap peas, they can go in. You can still put root crops in. You can have beetroot growing during this particular time of the year.
Yeah.
And if you have beetroot growing, then you can actually harvest the leaves and eat those in a
Yes.
salad. They're just fantastic in that
Yes,
respect.
you got me onto that. So I've been doing that because they just grow slower. That's the only difference with the root
That's all.
veggies is they do grow slower. So there's a beetroot.
Yep, beautiful.
So um, Asian greens. I thought you could cut those and they grow back. I did that last year, and you can like cut by the
Yeah,
base
you
rather than
can.
pulling out.
Yep, you can. You can do that with lots of different vegetables in that respect. Onions are the same. Spring onions. You
Yes.
don't have to.
Never pull out a spring onion. Always
No,
cut.
just cut off what you need, and it'll regrow. Absolutely.
Perfect. And because that's the same with cauliflower.
Cauliflowers, no.
Not cauliflower, sorry, celery. Does
So
celery grow back?
celery, the way that we use celery is we just go out and take off what we need. So
Yeah.
if we need a couple of sticks of celery, then that's what we'll cut off, and we'll leave the plant to regenerate. So we've had one lot of celery in the garden bed now, probably for about 4 months, and it's still producing new stalks and new leaves. So you can keep on adding and subtracting from celery without a problem in the world.
Well, you can make a Bloody Mary for your birthday. Put a celery stick in there.
That's a good idea.
Now I want one of those. I'll have one for your birthday. So,
Thank you.
is there anything that's too late to be doing now? Like, so the Brussels sprouts are too late.
Oh, look, I went to Bunnings the other day just to have a little bit of a look around to see what stock they're carrying there, and I couldn't believe that they had punnets of Brussels sprouts.
Mm,
And this is just theft in my
yeah.
opinion. It is just theft. No one's gonna grow a Brussels sprout this time of the year and hope like anything to harvest it, because it's not going to happen. Brussels sprouts have got to be planted into the soil in February.
Mm,
Be harvesting it now right through to July and into August. We haven't harvested any of ours just yet, and the reason for that is that they're in a bed that doesn't get as much sunlight as they used to be.
yeah.
And that's just the way it goes. But that's all right. We'll be eating them eventually.
Eventually. Okay, so
So you
because
don't want to be
Brussels,
putting beans in. You don't want to be
yeah,
putting tomatoes in, or eggplants, or capsicums, or any of these sort of things. These are all really hot season plants.
yeah.
But having said that, um, I will be starting probably tomatoes, capsicums, chilies next month.
And is that because you're down in a cool climate and like you'll be a little bit further than what we
Yeah,
are in rural New
yeah.
South
So
Wales?
you would probably start yours in August, September.
Yep, starting
But we,
seeds.
we need to start ours in early in order to get them up and going and pot them up, pot them on, pot them up, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so just keep that in mind, that you're going to be needing to think about tomatoes and all those hot ones in the next couple of months.
Yes, that was one of
In
my
order to have,
questions for you. Perfect. But down in the cooler climates, you can start on that now.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
probably.
next month. Next month.
And the reason I'm saying next month is because the way that the moon calendar is aligning itself up this year, it is
Hmm.
absolutely perfect um, for the growing period, the high growth period in July. Yep. So it's going to be down about the
On the
14th.
14th.
Yep.
Yes, and I did write down what. So if people want to get sowing still, so we've got the moon calendar dates for below ground. So root veggies is the 3rd and 4th, and then another period is the 10th and 11th.
Yep.
Above ground veggies is from the 16th to the 26th.
Yep.
And that's a whole other topic on its own. So if people have never heard of a moon calendar before, Keith and I have done a video on that. It's about
Yep.
planting with the moon, because to get the best out of your veggies
Yeah,
growing.
and not just the best out of your veggies, the best out of you working in the garden. You know,
Yeah.
cutting and pruning things, feeding things. It all gets back to the right timing. That's it.
It's so nice to just have like something to tell you like it's time. Like I don't have to think, oh, I need to do that. I need to. Well, I'm like, oh, well, it's not till the 3rd, so forget about it, Joe. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's good. It's like a little organizer for you. Okay, so with the plants that are okay to keep on sowing now, the winter veg, is that from seed, even from seed? Like, or are you better off getting seedlings now because
Look,
you're going to take a couple of months to get it to that
no,
maturity?
look. Even I have been so busy doing other things that I have found that it's going to be simpler for me to go to the big.
Oh, I lost you.
That's my daughter that time.
No, you're right.
So
To go and buy seedlings,
go
yeah.
and buy seedlings. But listen, I did a post the other day on planting seedlings,
Yeah.
and and it was specifically lined up to the high growth period. So if you're going to be putting them in, put them in according to the high growth period, because you can be as rough as guts with them and they
Yeah, with the
won't
roots.
fail. But if you
Yeah.
plant the wrong time of the year, they're going to fail. All right,
Yes.
you're going to have problems. They're going to run to seed, or or they're just going to be scraggly and weak. So always
Yeah.
work to up the high growth period.
And do you then put like a seaweed solution in there to help them with the transplant shock or
No,
anything?
no. I've just got. I know I've got really good quality soil.
Yes.
I don't need to worry about that.
And I was going to say that also with your pests, because of your high quality soil, like because you don't really do companion planting because you focus on the soil and
Exactly.
the rock dust, putting
Yep.
like increasing the bricks level, and you know that then that all minimizes the risk of the pests.
Exactly. Gee, Joe, you have come such a long way, darling.
I'm like I need it. I like it takes a bit to click, but once it's clicked, it's like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But people that just still want to do. Sorry, I'm going back to the pests and the pests. Yeah, the pests is
Yep.
you can do a bit of companion planting. Is there like ones that you really would recommend people having in the patch to deter?
Yeah. Look, one of the best things that you can have in the patch are things that actually produce seed heads that attract the predatory insects. And one of the best ones you can have going all year round is parsley. The
Okay.
flat leaf parsley, not the curly leaf, but the flat leaf parsley. If you just have that in your garden in a continuous basis, that's going to attract the predatory insects that just hone in on that particular plant and then go out and source all their food. The other good one that you could plant in the garden would be something like marigolds. Marigolds
Yeah.
are they,
My summer ones are still giving.
yep, yeah, they're terrific. You know,
Yeah, but
they're
you can
great
get.
plants.
I think you can get a winter variety of a
Can,
marigold as well.
yep,
And nasturtiums. I just went and got some because I've seen Mariah say that as well because and they're edible as well. I think aren't
they
they?
are.
The leaf, the
They've got a
flowers.
lovely peppery taste to them, and you know, the thing about the nasturtiums, and why I don't do this is I've got enough other good things happening in my garden in other
Yes.
parts of the garden rather than the beds themselves.
Yes, and I probably just didn't go into it too much because I knew like and it's a whole topic on its own, healthy soil, and I
Yeah,
think we'll chat about that again soon. But
yeah,
yeah, if you can focus on your healthy soil and the rock dust, putting in the rock dust increases the sugar level, the bricks level,
exactly. The bricks.
and the
Well
pest
done, you. Good on
and
you, darling.
the pests don't like that. They like weaker
No,
plants.
no.
Okay, so where are we up to? So questions, the community's questions. Let's get on to those. So we had a few. Right. Okay, so I've got Stella. She put this in our customer group chat. She's got her Henley's Rustics beds. Well done, Stella, for the shout out. Thank you. She's in Canberra. She's got her beds roughly set up east to west in the attempt to get the most sun.
Yep.
Um, the most sun to warm up the soil within it. Your thoughts on this would be appreciated because should they be north to south? What are positives to each strategy, like the different
Um,
positions?
she's got them set up in the best possible way.
Oh, there we go. Thumbs up, Stella.
East west is by far the better way to have it because the whole garden bed is going to get a shot at the sun, regardless of whether it's the middle of summer or the middle of winter.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got raised beds that are running north south, then you're going to get shadowing on those plants with the taller varieties.
Mm.
You know, so I always all my beds are laid east west.
Okay, very good. There we go. So another one from Stella. She's going to build a greenhouse
Mm-hmm.
to get an early start for summer veggies. Can she use a UV stabilized sheeting such as a laser light?
Yep. Yep.
Does it
Fine.
stop the UV from going through to the seedlings? Does it matter? If not, what else could she use?
Look, it doesn't really matter. You could just use the heavy grade plastic, clear plastic.
Yeah.
That's all the hothouses are made up of today is sheets of plastic. You don't get the longevity out of them. You do, but my actually hothouse is made by a company. Well, it's distributed in Australia by a company called Maze, Maze. and they've got a whole range of little hot houses and greenhouses. Mine's been up now for probably maybe 10 years, and all it needs is a bit of a clean, and that's it. But
Yeah.
it's a great little unit. But I mean, anything is going to help. Anything, any sort of enclosed space that's got a bit of a plastic that's going to allow the sunlight in, the warmth in, is going to be a benefit for sure.
And the seeds that you're going to start in next month, are you going to be doing them in your greenhouse, or are you
Yeah,
doing them under your veranda?
no, they'll be done. They'll be done in the hothouse. So, in the hothouse at the moment, you can't get in or get out because it's chock a block full of ginger and turmeric and galangal. But that's now starting to get to the stage where that'll be harvested very soon. And then I will set up the heat beds that I've got in there. They'll all be turned on, and the seedlings will sit on top of those.
Get some bottom heat.
Yep, get some bottom heat.
Very good. And if you're in my mates Prestige Coops and Cubbies, Jess and Rick, they've made my greenhouse at the back. I'm using mine more as a potting shed, but
Yeah.
they're a great one if you don't want to build your own. I'd highly recommend them, and they deliver like lots of places. So shout out to them. They're a Forbes little family company as well. So Stella, we had a question about the broccoli and the caterpillars, so we've answered that. So Barb, she's in Molong, so she also said to our customer group, when should I treat my fruit stone? I have peaches, nectarines, and apricots.
Look, they need to be sprayed with a copper fungicide or a lime sulfur, but best off to alternate it. Now, if the most of the stone fruit have already lost their leaves. Down here, I've got apple trees and pears that have still got lots and lots of leaves on them. Quinces will still have leaves on it, so there's nothing to do on those plants at that particular stage. But your stone fruit, you can spray now with a copper fungicide, and then next month spray with a lime sulfur fungicide, and then do another one after that with a copper, and then do another one after that with a lime. So alternate them. But if you're going to be spraying them, you've got to spray them to the point of runoff, so that the stuff is dripping off the actual bark of the plant, because the fungal spores will hibernate in the actual bark itself,
Mm,
and you've got to get that spray to soak into that so that it
drink it.
actually kills those spores.
Okay,
But
very good.
yeah,
So good
you can
timing. Yeah,
start that now.
great. That's good news, Barb. Okay, perfect. This one was from Scott, and this was in answering on our post. So fixing soil that has turned hydroponic in your greenhouse,
Okay, so
used in a veggie box, and
okay, so
rejuvenation for your next planting.
all right. So what he's saying there is not hydroponic; it's hydrophobic.
There we go. That's the word.
Yep. And what that means is that the organic material that he's used in those beds has been allowed to dry out, so that it
Hmm.
has formed a dry skin.
Yeah,
All
right.
right. So he can either do two things. He can either dig it out and put lots of compost in there,
Mhm.
or he can apply a wetting agent.
Yeah. No,
And the
that doesn't work either.
and the
Yeah.
wetting agent that I would suggest he has a look at is one called Saturate.
Mhm.
And is probably one of the most organic forms of a wetting agent that you'll come across. So that's a great thing. But if you can actually use dishwashing liquid, you
Yeah. Okay.
mix up a bucket with a few drops of dishwashing liquid in it, stir it around a little bit, and then tip it over over the soil. The soil needs to become wetter, and
So,
that's what that does.
so is this a common issue? I haven't. I just know if it sits on top means something about the drainage, but this is a different issue altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it depends what sort of potting mix he's had in there that
Yeah.
that's been allowed to dry out. If if it's got any native materials in it, then they are full of oils anyway, so they become really problematic.
Could it be anything also to do because it's been in the greenhouse and in summer? I know my temperature, my thermometer in there actually broke because it was up over 50. Like, is it anything to do with also the heat in that environment?
Yeah, of course it can be. The heat dries out the actual material,
Mm.
and then it just won't re-wet. So that's why you've got to use a wetting agent.
Yeah, okay.
But you
Right. Well, that was the end of the
put
questions.
lots
If
of
anyone's,
compost in.
pardon?
Put more compost in.
Yeah, put more composting because I was reading that last night. Like when I was researching a bit about it, and it's like, yeah, you can add extra like better quality compost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And put some worm castings and rock dust and all,
Yep,
like how you would replenish a normal bed.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And then what he needs to do, Joe, is then put a decent mulch over the top so that doesn't happen again.
Yes. Yes. Like a pea straw or a who flung
Or
dung.
yeah, who flung dung or lucerne or whatever else. Just
Yes.
keep that moisture level there.
I was gonna. Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that because I on my little to do list is I want to use lucerne straw because apparently it's got like it gives back to the soil. It's like a really good one to use. And I was concerned if I got it from a local farmer, potentially they're being sprayed with pesticides or something. So I was unsure like to go down that road. Like at least
Okay.
if you know you're buying an organic, certified organic pea straw, you know it's safe.
Yep. Um, I did a post the other day on pea straw that is certified organic. It's by a company called Brunnings, not
Mm-hmm.
Bunnings, but Brunnings,
Runnings. Yep.
Brunnings. Brunnings. They're a business that's been around for many, many years. And they have
Yep.
they have an organic range of that particular product of the pea straw, so it's certified organic.
Oh, okay. I've got a different one that's certified organic, Martins. I think I got this from Martins, and that's a certified organic one as well. They got the little
Yep,
label down the bottom.
yep. That's
And the only thing is that then, because they obviously the peas in it germinate,
yep.
I then some of them actually grow like they. I've got little seedlings throughout my whole gardens everywhere that they don't grow in. Will they like grow into and grow fruit? Like will
No,
they grow peas?
not they're not a food crop pea. No,
No,
they're
but then I'm thinking, as some of the ones that I've grown, like, have I let some germinate and grow up with my snow peas and sugar snaps because I thought maybe it was one of them, and I'm actually growing pea straw peas.
well, that doesn't matter. You know that it can still be edible. You know, even the actual.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of peas, a lot of peas are grown for the foliage.
Yeah.
You think about snow. You think about the perfume peas, for instance. They don't produce an edible seed pod, but they produce a beautiful flower and a beautiful perfume.
Right.
But a lot of those are grown actually where the actual foliage is harvested and eaten.
Okay. Because I tasted one the other. Would it look like a sugar snap?
Yep,
Because I had one the other day. I'm like, that doesn't taste like a sugar snap. So I have a feeling I've actually let them grow into a plant, and they're in amongst my sugar
that
snaps.
doesn't matter.
Okay, perfect. If anyone's got a question, I'll just ask Keith one more question before we finish up and pop
Mhm.
in your question now if you've got anything. See if we've missed anything. Our 40-acre life. Oh yes, about Bunnings. Yeah. Just having things at the wrong time. In Queensland, growing. Oh, you're already growing tomatoes,
Yep,
capsicum. Yes.
yep. That's what they'd be growing up there now. Yep,
To avoid the fruit fly getting early. Yes. So yeah, and
yep,
that's the thing. You got to follow your climate zone and follow your planting guide for your climate.
exactly.
Um, because yeah, don't just see what people are doing on, you know, Instagram. Like I always double check. Like Keith's planting something, but like you're in a cold climate and I'm up north. Like yeah, just double check before you go and do anything.
Exactly.
And when we are looking, and the biggest thing for going into spring, it's about soil warmth. So that's really your best indicator because is it 18 degrees that you're looking for before we start planting into the beds?
Yep,
18 degrees.
yep, yep.
Get one of these.
Get one of those. Yep, easy to get.
I was watching it like a hawk every day. Like, has it changed? Has it changed? And then it would go back down. I'm like, no. Okay, just to finish off, Keith, is there anything that like biggest mistakes or like biggest like game changes, like for someone to have a successful winter to a bit of a a fail, is there like a really good points that you've got to make sure that people are having the rest of winter to be a success?
All right. What the mistake that most people make is they think that they've added compost to their soil, and that's going to be it for the year.
Yeah.
And that's never gonna work. It never works, and it's something that I am just so conscious with every one of my raised beds. As soon as that crop is finished, whether it be brassicas or whatever, you replace the soil with more compost and then populate it with go-go juice or populate by Nutrog,
Yep.
and you seal it with
Yes.
dung or pea straw or whatever else. But
Yeah,
it,
and I had that down, and I thought it would be another topic because I'm like, oh, like to explain when would you use go-go juice versus the populate because the populate was more for when your bed's like been a bit of a struggle and potential disease in it.
yeah, so they're both full of microbes. The
Yep.
thing about the populate is that it has some microbes in that soil that will attack the bad microbes in the soil. So it's got this other additive to it that will attack any nasties that are in the soil. But the go-go juice is the one that I use all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever I put more compost into my soil, I will give it a good soak with some go-go juice, and that way I know that I'm populating more microbes into that soil to break down that compost, and then you get lots and lots of worm life. So that's another key indicator. Is go and have a look at your soil, pull your soils back, have a look around, and just see what sort of worm life you've got in there. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about earthworms. I'm talking about compost worms.
Yeah.
If you can see worm life in your soil, then your soil is good to go. But if you open up your soil and you can't find a worm anywhere, then you need to act on it. You need to get that compost into the soil, get the populate into it, or the go-go juice, and then seal it with a good mulch.
Okay, and so probably nearly 40% of our customers now have wick-in beds. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to have the materials in there that the worms have already kind of been in, or the worm eggs. Did I read this right that worm castings have worm eggs in it as well, or is it all just worm poo?
No, there'll be eggs in there as well. I mean,
Right.
look, what people don't really understand is that if if you've got some broccoli or something else, then there's a very good likelihood that on those roots are some worm eggs.
Right.
So
Okay.
and you actually, and they could be in the compost, they could be anywhere.
Mhm.
And the thing about worms is that if you've got compost worms in your soil, you don't need to worry about them.
Yeah.
As long as you are changing your compost over every time you change your crop, you rotate your crop, then you're going to be those worms are going to be fine. But even the worst case scenario, if you went
That was
away
me.
for six
I'm sorry.
months, if you went away for 6 months, those worms will shrink back to the same size as the egg they originated from, and
Really?
they will just hibernate. They won't die.
Mm.
They'll hibernate. And then when you add some more compost and put some moisture in there, they come back to life.
Okay, yeah. So keep it consistent, and obviously some of your beds will be full of more heavy feeders, like your brassicas are going to be heavy feeders, so they may need fertilizing also through the season, not just wait for replenishing before, like once they're done. Like
Yep.
to top them up, would you use a go-go juice? Because I know you use EEC.
Yep.
Um,
That's a food.
that's a right. So yeah, what would you do to feed throughout the rest of winter for the
Uh,
heavy feeders?
then I would be using, if for heavy feeders, if you can't get hold of it, um, the EEC, and I know he does post it all over Australia. And I just want to say this: he is posting his product out at wholesale so that it covers the cost of the postage.
Mm,
So it might cost you a couple of bucks more than it would be if you bought it from a shop, but at least you're getting a really good quality product. It's without a doubt one of the best products that I've ever used.
and I really like Lee. He started this business up a couple of years ago, and he's really got all the research and the professionals behind
Yep.
by the product, and he's using like the wild fish. It's not farm
Yeah.
fish. And the only reason when he reached out to me a couple of years ago because you recommended him to chat to me, and I said, "Oh, Lee, I'm vegetarian. I can't put the fish in my beds and all this stuff." And now I'm coming around and I'm thinking, well, they're dead anyway, and it's the byproduct, and I'm saving waste, so I am gonna start using it. So I haven't got it yet, but I've
Yep.
I had to go through a process in my brain
Yeah.
around it.
To understand is that that seaweed solution is a form that once it gets into the soil, it's not soaked up by the plants. It's created through the microbes that feed the plants.
Yeah, I know, and yeah, it's like I'm doing
So,
it for the soil.
so it's going to be better for you because it's got all the extra goodness in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm there. I've gotten there. I'm like, I can do this. Okay, perfect. So your biggest tip is just healthy soil, basically.
Healthy soil,
Yeah,
healthy.
and but basically everyone that's already like they've got their veggies growing and they're not going to replenish until they plant for spring. So everything else is just managing the things that come up, the
Yep.
pests, the disease.
Yep.
Yep, and start thinking about spring.
Yep. Exactly.
I think that's everything. Is that
I
everything?
think I think we've done just about everything.
That's winter, and then we have to start focusing on spring.
On-
And for me, like in winter, everything was direct sowed. Like everything, I wanted easy, and I didn't do brassicas just because of like the white butterfly and all these things. But
yeah.
potentially now the white butterfly, I might go and buy some seedlings because I will. The carrots will finish up soon, so maybe I'll change my mind. So there's still things you can play with.
Yep. Heaps.
Heaps.
Get,
And there's quick turnaround things like Asian greens are a quick turnaround.
yeah.
And snow
They're
peas,
great.
they grow so fast.
Yep.
Like there's some things that to get going. So yeah,
So,
because lots of people are still getting in their beds. So if they fill them up quickly, they can still do some winter things.
exactly. Exactly. And
Or use this time to really prepare good soil ready for spring.
yep. Exactly.